Oh, Mike Jeffries.
Okay. Welcome to Calling Out with Susan Pinsky. Hello, everyone. I'm Susan Pinsky, and we're here on drdrew.tv today doing a life and times of the dark secrets of modeling with my girl, Emily Hagen. She is my crack producer today. She's known as Emily Knows Everything on Instagram and where else?
Substack now. Just launched.
She has a great Substack. She's been producing behind the scenes for me for a while. I'm here with Eddie Connor. He is a psychic medium. He is found at eddieconnor.com. He comes in every week. You can find him on Instagram at Eddie Connor Soul. He's looking pretty good today in that black jacket and blue. He's looking pretty sharp. Look at that. Look at that. He dressed up.
I can feel me getting red.
Yeah. I hope your mic's working. And that mic's been acting weird for the last 24 hours. But I also have another psychic medium coming in from Chicago, Illinois. His name is Andrew Anderson. And he is in studio there. Hi, Andrew.
Hello, Susan. Thanks for having me.
I'd like a wide shot of that so you can see his calling out logo behind him. He got a nice thing for his birthday. There it is. Calling out. Calling out with Andrew Anderson. And thank you. I feel really honored to see that. And thank you for joining us today. You can find him at Medium Reading. Is that your ex, at Medium Reading?
Psychicmediumreading.org.
Oh yeah, no, this isn't right.
His ex.
Okay. Anyways, go to psychicmedium.org and you can find him after the show and book a reading. Yeah, no, these are two of my favorite. I have so many favorites, but two of my favorite psychic mediums who love working together and bringing the spirituality into the room. We're going to have more of a lighthearted day today than we did last week. We're trying to keep negative energy from blowing up our internet. If anybody missed last week's show, they'll find out that we had two breaks in the system. The electronics went down, and we had to reboot it twice, and the show was broken up into 3 parts. But fortunately, because Kaleb is so good at his job, he was able to put the entire show together, and he uploaded it in one piece in its entirety. And it was quite daunting, Andrew. I know you texted me afterward and said I feel like you had a bad day today, and I was like, it wasn't bad. It was just weird. So there are no coincidences in my life. There was definitely some kind of an energy working with the technology here at the drdrew.tv. And of course we did a show right afterwards and the entire show was fine. It's the weirdest thing. But anyways, thanks for joining us. Hopefully we won't have any glitches in the system today. And the power of the spirit will not override our system. Anyways, I'm talking too much. I would like to introduce our guest. Her name is Barbara. She is our celebrity guest for the day, and she has agreed to get a psychic reading. We're going to lead off with Andrew. We have given no information on who you are in advance, so you've been on Zoom with him for a little while. He hasn't been Googling you or doing anything behind the scenes to get any inside information. Both of these psychics just basically found out who is coming in today and how we do this. I don't know if he's had any weird intuitions the day before, because sometimes spirits will come through to these guys the day before and say stuff and do stuff. They'll realize it in the middle of the show. I don't know if anybody's had this, but your spirits are probably here, and we'll let Andrew show his craft and dive into your life and what our topic is today. And Emily is my expert, as you know, and she's going to be able to validate whatever comes through as well. So that's how it works here. We don't do a big rundown of who you are until the end. So Sorry about that. So anyways, let's get started, Andrew. I'll let him tap
Barbara.
into your soul.
Hi.
It is nice to meet you. It's a thrill. So I took some notes. I get downloads immediately when I meet somebody, and I instantly learn a lot about them. Although the things that I'm hearing are pretty kind of, I don't think they're pertaining to you. I don't know. The first things that I get, trafficking, grooming young women, children, pedophilia, dark side of something. So I know that has nothing to do with you. It's probably something to do with your work, or whatever you did. But you are a very old soul. I see that. You've probably been told that many times. But when I say that, I'm saying that you've had a lot of lives. Like you've lived many, many lives. And what it feels like, whoever you worked for didn't get what they bargained for, whatever that means. So, meaning like you are you're beautiful and all that. Probably a model, probably, right? I think that's what it said. But you weren't just a pretty face. The age of your soul and who you are is what caused you to do whatever you did with your work. So I see a grandpa in spirit, or a male energy that was a father figure that you lost, that you were close to.
Yeah.
And how do you connect to July and October?
We connected.
No, how?
Through meditation, experience.
Yeah. You miss your grandpa?
My father.
It's father, okay. Because he comes through as a father figure, but there's more than one. So I'm probably his dad or something. So dad's been gone how long?
My dad has been gone for it's 15 years. And my grandfather on my mom's side, he passed away after my father. So 12 years.
And they knew each other. And you were a daddy's girl.
Yeah.
That's what he says. He says he hears you talking to him almost every day, even though it's been 15 years. You still communicate with him. And he says that whatever you did, he's so proud of you, but he's proud of how you did it or what you did. Some of whatever you did was your dad.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting. It's like he passed that on to you, and you learned from him, and you became this incredible human being, more than just a pretty face. And your future, I see your own line of something, a developing of some clothing or something of your own that will come. You look really young. I don't know how old you are, but these are things that I feel like you will be doing, getting out. Your dad, that was a hard one. You were there when he passed? Huh?
Yeah.
Because he reciprocates every night. He shows me that you or someone kissed him on the forehead at that time. And he says, I kiss her every single night on her forehead when she goes to sleep. He's done that. Somebody's got a birthday or celebration coming up, or just passed. Who's that?
Yeah, I'm having a birthday coming.
Yeah, your dad's going to be a part of it. There's a trip. There's a travel or trip you were talking about. I feel like something's been delayed, but I feel like it's been delayed on purpose. What does that mean?
We've been trying to go on vacation, but it's been really hard because our house burned in the fire.
Oh my gosh. Where you live in California?
Yeah. So it's been really it's hard.
Devastating. You're stuck right now, right?
Yeah.
How do we come out of this? You're still very, very blessed, and you have your lives, your health,
Thank you.
and your family.
Thank
family. You have always thought differently. You have a strong connection to Paris. You used to live there, you used to dance there. And I think you played either the piano or the violin. You were really good. In another life, I'm referring. That's what I'm feeling like your soul. Some of the attributes you have in this life come from who you were or where you came from. You're a beautiful soul. And widely been underestimated, whatever that means.
Thank you.
When's your birthday?
May 12th.
So you're Taurus, or is that Aries? No, you're Taurus, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Get those mixed up.
Very close.
So your dad is bringing a child from spirit in forward, and so is your grandmother. There was a baby. Did you have a twin or a lost baby? Did you have twins in your family or your husband's?
My mom had a miscarriage.
Okay.
So there was supposed to be 4 of us.
4? Oh my goodness! Wait, quadruplets?
No, I mean like 4, of her children. But
okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Like, how did I miss that?
There's only 3
I
of
saw
us.
something to do with twin, but I see a connection to you and a child.
Oh wow, maybe.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe it's my son. I have a son.
Yes. How old's your son?
He's 11.
Once again,
It's a great age.
going on 20.
Yes.
He's a little empath. He's got that quality that you have. You're a strong empath. Sometimes it's a fault to you and for you. You feel like because it cripples you. You tend to hide a lot of that stuff. You hide your anxiety very well. You've learned to compartmentalize things that are issues to you, that you hide them from the public. Because I see a very small circle. In being that you know a lot of people, you have a very small circle of people you trust.
Yes, sir.
That being said, your dad is interested in helping you take your life to another level and working with you specifically. He's done it already. Whatever you've done at your job, I don't know the specifics of it, by the way, but I'm telling you that your dad is telling me that he manipulated the situation to do whatever you did. Okay? Where's Mom?
Protected. She's home.
Yeah. Where's home is what I meant.
In Texas. She's in Texas.
Because it's not around you, right?
No.
You have a little buffer zone?
Yeah, we have a buffer.
Intentional zone.
I miss her.
Oh, yeah. Mom's going to need extra attention this year. She could fall again. She tries to do too much. Somebody needs to keep an eye on her. Who's there?
My younger brother.
Yeah, well. Do you have faith in him?
Nope.
Thanks. Neither do I. My question was rhetorical, Barbara. That's why I pointed him out.
He's so selfish.
Your dad is like, who put this guy in charge of Mom? Who put this guy there? No, I'm sorry. I'm not judging. I'm just your dad.
He's not. I know he's not very sweet. He's spoiled brat.
Yep, he's entitled and coddled.
Yep.
And your dad is
not the dirt.
He's not blaming himself.
Family dirt.
Yeah, he's not. He needs to be just a little bit more connected and to source and not be so like ego.
Narcissistic.
Yeah, narcissist. Yeah, big time.
So you guys, you were caught up in that fire in California, the last fires?
Yeah.
Right? That was horrible, of course, tragedy. But it's also, you're going to rebuild somewhere else, something else, better, beautiful, something that's safe for the children. I feel like you were pushed out of there for a reason. A lot of people were. It wasn't just an act of God. It's sad to say goodbye, but you're also letting go of a chapter of your life that I feel you need to, and move forward and move on. Your whole life is not going to be defined as someone or something that you did. You're worth more than that. I see a book coming out in you, more than one, actually. I see you connecting with a group of women, like a writers group of some sort, where they kind of help you because you need to get out of your head. You overthink things constantly. You do.
I know.
If you could just calm down and let things come to you and feel more and tune into your energy. You've got a lot of guides. You've got a lot of help on the other side. They want to help you, but you have to let go too, and let them help you. It's not easy because we
can see
we're so impulsive. We're very impulsive as human beings. We think we know what we want. Our loved ones know better, Barbara.
I know.
What were you going to say?
I wanted to just try to maybe understand my surroundings more. Like, you know, I want to expand and open my surroundings so I'm not so closed off. I've been going through a lot these past 5 years, and I don't trust people as much as I used to.
I felt you. I feel you. Everything happens for a reason. So you know that we met today for a reason.
Yeah, we did.
What's happening with you is I feel your vibration is stuck. You have this amazing potential for vibration to be raised. You're staying stuck in some of your problems, and some of them are ones you don't even share with your husband. And I think that you guys communicate pretty well comparatively to others that I work with, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I think that, sorry, who's that?
You want to go into that?
Sorry, I just got a download about some mail that passed connected to you really young. A boy from school. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt that thought.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. Keep going.
Who's this boy?
We had a friend that passed recently. His name is Dingo.
I'm sorry, what'd you say his name was?
Dingo. We had a friend that passed. His name is Dingo.
Well, this guy was very funny. Like he had a way of brightening up the room, right? Because he did that now. I'm in the middle of a sentence, and this guy's interrupting me.
His name was Dingo.
Yeah, Dingo.
That makes you smile, you know. It's funny.
He's the best.
Well, he comes through with a sense of humor, saying that he's around. He was a bit of a adventurous, like thrill seeker. That's what I feel. Like maybe bungee jumping or something.
Yes,
that's kind of how I feel this energy.
He was a professional snowboarder.
There we go. He's pretty cool. He says, I'm still doing the same thing. You should see the tricks I do now. On the other side, do you have a brother?
I have two brothers.
I'm sorry, I know him.
Oh, Dingo, yes. He has a brother, yes.
All right. Are you guys in communication with him? No?
No.
I know. Yeah, because he's saying nobody is. How long has he been gone? I'm sorry, I'm getting this all at once from this guy.
So the brother, he's been gone since 2019, and then Dingo just passed a month ago, like 4 weeks ago. We just went to his funeral.
Wow.
So Dingo's bringing up the brother is on the other side with him, right?
Yes.
And there's one alive.
Yeah. They both passed now.
Who am I seeing that's alive? Because I feel like he wants you to reach out to someone.
I don't know.
Okay.
I have to reach out to somebody.
Connected to him. That's what I'm getting. Yeah. He didn't leave a lot of people behind.
I don't know. Maybe he
doesn't die.
He just died 3 weeks ago.
Wow, that's pretty amazing to come through. There's some sort of controversy surrounding it as well.
Oh, really?
I don't know what that is. This guy pushed.
Do you know how he died?
I don't know exactly what happened.
But nonetheless, so you guys will be moving away, maybe in another part of California. You thinking about another state?
No, my husband wants to stay in California.
What do you want, Barbara?
I want to move to Hawaii.
Thank you. That's right. At some point, we're going to have to find some balance here. We'll have to talk to him.
Yes, I want to go to Hawaii and live on a farm. Awesome. I want to live on a farm and just.
It's interesting you say that because I talk about the three methods that spirit uses to connect to us, and it's our consciousness, it's nature, and other people. Your dad loves when you get out in nature. You're not doing it as much anymore. But when you do it, it's his wheelhouse. He can connect to you through birds, insects, trees. You know how connected you used to be. And what happened to your journaling that you used to do?
I know. I stopped.
You stopped all this stuff. I see Your dad's calling you out. These are things that you need to get back into. Oh, the show, right? That's what
Right.
your dad knows the name of the show. You can sit down with your dad and have an intimate conversation with him every night. It's one thing to talk to our loved ones. It's another to hear them and listen to them. They come through in ways that we might not think is them, but nonetheless, it's them. You need to get back into the things that you used to love. Your life is so chaotic right now and you're succumbing to it. You need to come out, get up, dust yourself off, and grow a pair and get back out there. Sorry, that's from your dad, not me. So he was a tough. He was tough, wasn't he?
He was what?
He was tough.
He was very tough.
You're darn right. That's why he's giving you the same message as if he was right here in front of you. So
That's why I'm so tough, I think, because
I know exactly. You got that from him. So around July, I brought up that month, and I think it was more of a premonition of something. If it's possible for you to see Mom, maybe you should.
Yeah.
When's the last time you've seen her?
She actually, this is a crazy story. She left the night before the fire, and my husband said to me, hey, honey, you should let your mom stay longer for, the stay, because she came for the holiday. She comes every holiday. And I said, I have so much stuff I have to do. I think it's best. I finally listened to my intuition, because sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And something inside of me was like, no, take her to the airport. She needs to go home. Thank God. The fire happened the next morning.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that was your father. That's how spirit works with us.
I wish we had
a
picture of her Instagram. She shows, if you go to her Instagram, you can see a picture of this car that's burned. Was that your car, your automobile? It's just melted into the ground.
It was my son's Ghostbusters car. Mm-hmm.
That was a small car. That wasn't an actual car. It was a toy. Oh,
it was his toy.
Oh, well, thank God. But it's a tragedy. Altadena is right next to us here in Pasadena, and I was up there for a doctor's appointment yesterday, and the doctor's office was fine. And as I was driving out, I noticed that the building next to it had been burnt to the ground, and I only saw a tip of the iceberg. But the tragedy is, it's so bad. Everybody, it's like mourning a loss. This is your home. You lose your home. You lose your life. You have to start all over again. It could be a blessing in disguise, but it doesn't feel like it. But it is something that, we all have to, we shouldn't take for granted our surroundings and what we have. I'm so grateful that my house wasn't one of the ones that went down, and that I'm able to, live my everyday life. So, my heart goes out to you. I'm so sorry. There it is. This is the view from her house.
That's
the automobile.
It's a toy. I thought it was a real car.
It looks like a little car.
Yeah, it's a
Ghostbusters wagon.
My son's Ghostbusters car. So I had a premonition about the fire on October 1st. I sleptwalked.
Whoa.
And my husband has it on video camera. I was talking in tongues, going around in circles in our driveway. And God yeah. So I've been this way since I was a young girl.
Interesting. And,
your son was
I also wanted to, it's good that you're moving. It's good that you're selling your property and you're moving, because it's going to take years to repair that area. Like, it's going to be 5 years at least because of the Coastal Commission. It's really sad. California is not getting their shit together and helping you guys. It's weird. It's just strange to me. It's like a war zone there, and we get no support. But that is a really stressful thing. I know also that you're going through a lot of stuff, that's because of your past as a professional model, and something that Andrew tapped into at the very beginning, and he said it probably didn't relate to you, and it rose Emily's eyebrows here, because she said, did did you tell him anything? And I was like, nope, I didn't tell him anything. So, there's Emily.
Oh God, I look terrible compared to Barbara.
And oh, stop.
Get me
and
off get me off the camera.
Like how would he know my father passed and how I'm connected to my dad? You know, not everybody has a good relationship with their father. Like I was very connected to my dad. He was my best friend. So, you know, a lot of girls don't have that. So there's no way he could have known that. You know what I mean?
So it was the other stuff I thought, because he, right off the bat, he's like, I'm seeing grooming, pedophilia, modeling, hidden secrets. I'm like, did he read my article about Barbara?
No, we didn't. I didn't send any information.
It was like spot on.
Andrew didn't even know he's doing the show today until last night at 10:30 his time. And I said, do you remember that we're doing a show? And he set his tech up himself. I'm very proud of him. But okay, so we're going to go back to the beginning. Now that we have confirmed that Andrew can tap into your
you guys had a connection,
your own history, and that's basically how I like to show the abilities of the psychic mediums, is that they are the real deal. So,
can I mention one other thing? Can I mention something else really quick? With Barbara, your son, he comes from a life where he was a pilot, maybe in the military. He may want to become one in this life. I'm kind of deterring him from that in some way, if you can, but he may have he might be drawn to planes or something.
Wow.
Also, you and your husband within the next couple of years are going, I'm going to say need, because I see a little more than you do, Barbara, to get back to go into couples counseling, to reconnect. I feel like it's important for the next phase of your life. Get on the same page.
Okay.
So that you can last like you guys plan on.
That's a good idea.
It's what I want.
We got to get him to communicate.
When you go through
better.
tough times.
Come on.
Yeah, when you go through tough times, it does take a toll on a marriage or relationships, and definitely stay attuned to each other. Try to take time to connect.
Encourages, right? You find out who your friends are, who you can trust, right? That's what you find in tragedies like this. That is enough to make sense of a tragedy. I try to make sense every day of a mother losing a child. It's very difficult.
Very difficult.
But there's reasons for everything.
Yes.
God has a plan.
God has a plan.
You know.
Amen.
Yes.
So let's get her message out there and talk a little bit more about her history.
What's her message? I'm sorry. And wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Barbara.
her message.
Is he going to read her?
Well, I'd like to know how
I'm sorry, Susan.
Emily would like.
Can I ask really quick? Susan, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I read off.
I know, it's okay.
Don't you ever?
Nobody's telling me what I read off a bunch of those negative, horrible, disgusting things in the beginning, and where did they come? Nobody's addressing it. I know it wasn't connected to her.
It's the purpose of the whole show.
You got to let us move in that
direction.
Thank you. All right,
that's the theme of the show.
No, and honestly, Andrew is zoned in. Like he's doing his thing. He's working his magic, and then we want to let him finish anything that's important before we move on, obviously. But the Barbara's fame is from her beauty and her as a model. She was a Victoria's Secret model, and she worked for Abercrombie. It was a very interesting time for her. So we're delving into that right now, because it is kind of a interesting history of a career for a woman like her. And I just want to get her message out there and help her get through tough times that she may have had during that period of time. Like you mentioned at the beginning, she donned the cover of Cosmopolitan, which was a great magazine. She's, an absolutely gorgeous model. Over the years, we're giving you this information because, but there is a dark side to this world. She became a witness to, and whatever her dad was saying, he was guiding her and helping her. Like you said, she came out on the other side, but it has been very tumultuous for her, and she's dealing with a lot of stuff, a lot of horrors of this history. So what you said as you came in was, I see this, but it doesn't look like you. This couldn't have happened to you. It could happen to her. She was a witness to this, which, and I honestly, I don't want to just talk about dark stuff all the time. I want to see how we can help, Barbara through this. And also Emily is well-versed on it. She's been working with Barbara, and she wrote a great piece in her Substack about what's going on in the world. We like to be aware of the things that go on. So I guess what I should do is see what Eddie wants to say. And then everybody who's in the room here, we need to get off our Wi-Fi because Kaleb's having energy problems again. And I don't want my Wi-Fi to go out. So
you can turn mine off. Just keep my phone on the charger, Robin.
Yeah. We're now that we're talking about the dark side, my internet will cut out again.
So I can kind of lead it, Andrew. So basically, back when the Abercrombie and Fitch story broke back in, I think it was October or November, I wrote a piece deep diving Mike Jeffries and the traumatizing history that was going on. There was about 30 plus victims that came forward to sue Jeffries, and he was arrested along with his partner. And then there was a third man that was arrested in cahoots with those two. And then the other day, the news broke that Jeffries has dementia, so will likely walk free. So I was like, wow, well, I already did a deep dive on this. I don't know how I'm going to write an update besides just feeling like another predator gets to walk. And then randomly, I get a text message from a woman that I knew that connected me with Barbara. And then we hopped on the phone, and then she was like the first model to actually be brave enough to come out and tell her story. So Barbara got on the phone with me, and it was like so crazy. She knew everyone. She partied with Epstein in New York.
Let's not give too much information out. Let's see where we go.
I thought that was why I was here.
No, I love it. But I want to see where this
because Eddie has to go.
I don't know. How do you guys want to?
I'm just going to be a mute.
I think what I want to do is ask Barbara what kind of questions she has for two of the best psychic mediums in relation to this, and how they can help her with her what she's gone through on a spiritual level, and talk about it. I
don't like being interrupted. I feel like I'm Kanye.
I apologize.
I'm Kanye. Now I'm going to be Kanye.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to have to go Kanye.
No.
Susan.
And we know that you have.
No, I just want to give her the proper introduction because there's so many stories that we haven't even tapped into that Eddie has been writing on the paper.
So you should probably tell me where you think Eddie could help with this.
I just wanted the people out there to know her background.
Yes, of course. That's good.
She wasn't just Victor. She did every catalog under the sun, and you can see her picture everywhere. That was all.
Wow. I want you to tell me where you want Eddie and Andrew to go, because we have a very short period of time with Andrew. I think he has a hard out.
Oh, okay. Well, I think Andrew already went as far as he could. I think that Andrew did amazing. He tapped every single point, literally perfect. Even the writer's room was true.
Wow.
Because that's what I wanted to say to Andrew is you mentioned that she may have a book. I thought the same thing when I met her, and I'm a writer, and I was connected to Barbara by another writer that's wanting to help her get her story out. So when you said that, I was like, that's weird.
Yeah, I'm a terrible writer.
I literally wrote that.
I could have written 80 pages on Barbara. Everything she was saying was a quote.
Wow.
Yeah, okay.
So then Eddie can just take it from here, I think.
Okay, so do we want to Andrew, do you want to have any interjection on this before you go? Because I think you told me you can only stay till 1:45 Central.
I have somebody coming at 2, but I'll stay on as long as possible. What I wanted to say was, a lot of times people want the whys when they come. Like, how can God take a child? Like the parents that come here that lose a child, that's devastating to me and them, of course. Finding out the whys. This is a little easier. The whys. You had to go through what you went through in order to do what you're doing. Unfortunately, you had to see what you saw in order for Dad to work with you like he knew. He knew this was coming way before anybody else did, way before you did. That's how spirit works. The why is there. It's to help. It's to draw attention to something that is otherwise hidden, covered up. People would probably think, I don't even know who all this stuff pertains to, but it's pretty disgusting. And the why is right there. It's to help, to bring it to attention.
Yeah.
I know you went through, it was pretty devastating what you went through, but you're still standing.
Yeah. Yeah, I lost a
What's your
best friend too.
Oh, no. Because of this?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by that? They just checked out, couldn't take the pressure?
No, I mean, she was trafficked.
Oh, lost. I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, trafficking. Yeah, that was the first thing I said.
Yes.
And that goes,
Yeah.
you're talking about like Abercrombie?
No, I mean, it's like the same people. It's the same people, like that traffic. They traffic all of them. You're in that circle. And, she was a good girl.
Did you feel someone was following you? Because I see it.
I've had stalkers. I've put somebody in jail. Leo Kazan's son. He's Kazan. His name's Leo Kazan. His father was a big producer in the 60s. His son, he was stalking me for 7 years. I had to put him in jail in New York. And the only reason why he went to jail was because he did it to a judge's daughter. So he had 80,000 videos on his wall on Madison Avenue when they arrested him of pornography of young girls.
And they have the nerve to try to smear your name.
7 years, 6 to 7 years of my life, my teenage years by this man. Leo Kazan. I think he's still, I don't even know if he's in jail still.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But keep an eye on that this year.
Stalker.
If you see more than a car more than once, or I don't mean for you to live in fear and constantly
It's okay.
over your shoulder.
It's okay.
I'm picking up on.
You follow me, I'm going to shoot your ass. That's it. I don't care. I'm that girl. I don't care. I will shoot
Good for
your
you.
ass. I'm not afraid of anyone. Nope. I will shoot your ass.
Are you originally from Texas?
Yep, I am.
Yeah. Okay.
There it is.
That makes sense.
It was, let me tell you one story. I was pregnant with our son, and my husband, he's a musician. He was with the band Swayze, and these two girls came up on our property. They're like, "We're looking for Cisco and Swayze." I said, "Well, they're not here. You need to leave the property." They would not leave the property. I was 7 months pregnant. Huge. I was a big woman. I gained 100 pounds when I was pregnant. They would not leave. I said, "If you don't leave in 5 minutes, I'm going to go get my shotgun and I'm going to shoot both of your asses and you're going to be off my property." So, there I am.
And she's dressed for the occasion too.
So, try me.
Yeah. Great story. Great story. Okay.
He's been dying to get his stuff. Everything that is written on his paper has been said.
It's crazy.
No.
I know. Okay, so we're gonna segue to Eddie through and Emily here.
And Andrew's going to seem like I took from you. I promise I didn't, because there's so many similarities here. We're like piggybacking. We're harmonizing here with the same information. It's nuts.
Yeah. So Kaleb, do the over-the-shoulder shot and show all the paperwork that Eddie has around him. He writes down notes. If you do the over-the-shoulder shot, you can see he's got
hold it up, Eddie.
everything all spread out. Yeah, there it is. He's been sitting down here. He's been
You're like the conspiracy theorist with all the papers on the wall.
Yeah. So we'll. Yeah. So Eddie's gonna. I am going to let. Can you? I know, Andrew, you have to go, but I'm going to let you go. Is that okay? Or do you have any final words? You can find Andrew.
Barbara, you can reach out to me if you want, Andrew.
Yes.
Psychicmedium.org.
Psychicmedium.org.
Google my name. Psychic medium
Yeah,
reading.
Andrew Anderson, psychicreading.org.
The dog is
Right? Psychic
do
medium
Psychic
reading. I don't have it in my notes, so I'm sorry. I can't remember everybody's
It's there.
call to action.
It was really nice to meet you.
You
It's a
too.
pleasure to
Andrew,
meet you, Barbara.
you're so awesome. Thank you for tapping in.
And
Thank you. I appreciate
Andrew's
it.
like a life coach. Like he does give you light and hope and love. And if you want to call him and kind of if you're confused about something, he can help lead you in the right direction with his spiritualism and love. So thank you so much, Andrew. And you did a fabulous day.
Good job,
today
Andrew.
with your tech stuff. It worked perfect. You don't need to hire anybody anymore. You are good to go. You are
Thanks, Susan.
self-sufficient now. So I'm very proud of you. And thanks for showing up.
You guys,
And
thank
we
you.
appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank
Drew,
you.
can you get your dog under control?
What's wrong with the dog?
The dog just knocked over my microphone. They're fixing it. He was tangled in the mic.
Oh, she was? Poor Georgina. She's Dr. Drew and Robin
Dr. Drew's
are
on the
underneath
ground
my
like a
table right now.
dog.
What are you doing down there?
Behind the scenes.
Okay, so back to Eddie, who has his paperwork. He's been jotting down notes vigorously over here.
Wow.
A lot of notes.
This
I've
is-
never seen you take that many notes.
Yeah, I go crazy sometimes. And then what we can do is like what Susan did with your friend Owen, take pictures of the notes and send
I
it
can
to
send them to her.
So you have it, because some of this might not make sense now. Hardly any of it makes sense to me. But I'm a life path 11 like you are. So we have that gift of being able to be not duplicitous in a negative way, but it's hard for people to read us if we don't want them to read us. So we have to put on that poker face. And we live in two realities simultaneously. Thank you. And they're saying you really have been psychic since you were a little girl, that you had beings around you a lot growing up. And I'm going to jump straight to something you said earlier, because when you said you were sleepwalking in the driveway before the fires came, I feel like there was a man and a woman in your family who had passed away that was with you. You were just picking up what the information they were giving you. But you're divinely protected even in the midst of everything you've been through. So I'm going to start from the very top, and I'm going to talk fast like a lawnmower. Okay.
That's okay.
It's more like a weed eater. Okay. So they said, you like your freedom. Don't fuck with your freedom. You do your best work when you work for yourself, more like independent contracting. You are a hard worker. You're one of those people also, like the rest of us in the room. You don't like lazy people. If they're going to be part of your team, they better show up and be prepared and look cute. Okay.
That's right.
Okay. Now,
You gotta look cute.
I wrote down Texas earlier with a big oil well, and then you said Texas, and I had to show it to Emily to make it look, because I was jotting down.
Can confirm.
Do you have a brother with an R or C or K sound in his name? First name, last name, nickname, or middle name. Could be an S, R-C-K, Rick, Mick, Mark. I can't, R-C-K. But I'm just going to leave it there. I'm going to send you the paperwork. What's your connection to the Midwest? What's your Midwest connection?
My Midwest. Not sure.
It's family, nothing with family, nothing with you personally. So, okay. So they went, this what I'm talking about. I got New York, New Jersey up here, question mark USA, then the Midwest, then you jumped over to Texas. You confused me, girl, okay? And then
I was in New York.
I wrote down lawsuits. Yeah. Then it's lawsuits, battles, uphill fight, court connections, entertainment or judicial. There's a big love and hate relationship with authority, and there always has been. And when you kicked the door down, other people slowly started to follow you. And they're saying what shocked you the most was that the men didn't kick it first. And then when you kicked the door down, some of
That's
the
true.
mussies, we call them, males that
Pussies? Is that a male pussy?
Yes, it is.
Oh my God, that's funny.
It's sort of tippy-toed behind you, and a few of them stuck up, but a lot of them went and ran and hid because there's so much shame and negative stigma attached to this. And then I heard right behind that, and this is like fart in a whirlwind information. So I heard somebody named Lala, Lele, Lily. It could just be a short abbreviation for Elisa, Liza, Leslie, or Lucy, male or female. Do you have a puppy that had an eye issue?
Yes, I do right now.
Okay. What's that puppy's name?
Elvis.
Okay. It's crazy. I was jotting notes down and this puppy goes, my eye, my eye.
Wow.
No joke. And did you or someone in the family recently have an issue with a finger, a knuckle, or a wrist?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. That's your relatives in spirit watching over you, giving you proof that they're there.
Yeah.
Things that nobody can know on earth but you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, somebody called you bossy pants. Is that true?
Bossy pants.
Yep. I get called bossy pants.
Okay. Okay. They're telling me to tell you there's big money coming your way, and I just heard that it's long overdue. And then I want to say your solar plexus just said to me, where the hell it at? But it's coming, I promise. And then I didn't ask yet. I was asking what I need to pick up from you. And then I said, what is the musical connection with you? And I think Andrew's already tapped into it.
My husband.
Because of your marriage, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Don't tell her what to do. They just kept repeating that. And then I wrote down book deal, writing, boring to you, but I feel you have a story to tell and you're going to share it, even if you have to get a ghostwriter to do it, which is funny because you talk to dead people too. And is there a Mary Ann, Mary Ellen, Mary something in this family, or an MR female, Mary, Margaret, Marge, Margaret?
Yep. I have a close friend.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. And do you have 2 children or 1?
1.
And so there's a little girl that follows him around and has played with him since he was little.
Wow.
And it's funny because she has lighter color hair than you do. And I can't see your eyes, so I don't know if you're blue or green-eyed, but she's blue-green-eyed. She looks like she's from the Pleiades.
That's
So
what my
she
son
hangs
looks
out
like.
with okay. Watch it. That's his sister. And she hangs out with him all the time. She loves water as much as he loves water. And he gets his ass in a lot of trouble. So what was the issue with the cutting of the vegetables, the knife or something with knife or scissors, cutting something recently? Where you had to say, don't mess with that or don't play with that?
Yeah, he's very adventurous with his BB guns and his knives.
There it is.
Oh boy.
They watch over him, just so you know.
Yeah.
It's just weird how it works. And
They don't like it.
yeah, they're telling me you have a very loud house, which is funny because you like your solitude at the same time. So sometimes it's loud, sometimes it's quiet. So it's like 2 different households rolled over into one.
Yeah. Yes.
They're telling me that when you're in the zone, nobody can effing touch you.
Wow.
That's right.
Like you, everything disappears. You're just like, zzz, and then that's where you're most magical. And somebody's telling me that you have a love of flowers or flower arranging or floral or something with nature and beauty. Are you futzing around and playing with that lately?
I'm always in the garden or flowers, or it's like my entire life. I've always been around flowers. My mom is an architect and she gardens. I was raised on a farm. So I'm always in nature and it makes me feel good.
Okay. And then was there a lost ring, misplaced ring, or a ring that just came back to you?
Yeah, there was
Okay.
a lost ring. There's a lost ring.
Okay. And is there who likes the marshmallows?
My
We need to get
son.
to Emily's topic here.
Yeah.
We know the spirits here. Okay, so
somebody likes the little marshmallows or the little peeps, and there's more with the T and an M.
Easter's coming, so there's going to be peeps. Yes,
but they like marshmallows even if it ain't a peep.
Yeah. Okay, so we've tapped into her children. Your ancestors are very happy and proud of you, and and in the hizzy. So they are definitely here. But Emily is just so fascinated by this whole era and your history and the stuff that I don't really know a lot about it, but I do know that you're in a lawsuit. You're kind of dealing with this now. I don't know if you're suing somebody, and there's a lot of money coming from that. But I don't know. From what I read her Substack, but I didn't. I didn't do a deep dive into her like you did. But she probably has some questions for Eddie that she would love to address.
Me?
Yeah. No.
Well, something that you said about there's Moses on our podcast, Barbara was complaining that Justin Bieber isn't speaking out and all these other male models are quiet. So she's like, why am I the only one speaking out? And you said that exact thing. And it was all, and I said it's because Justin Bieber and others, the men feel shame. And then you said shame.
Terrence Howard just did an interview with somebody, and he's talking about.
I saw it.
That went.
I'm skeptical about Terrence Howard. I don't know. Something about him doesn't feel energetically right to me.
He says a moment whether the guy is straight or gay or whatever, once someone takes your quote manhood against your volition, then they never recover from that.
No, they don't.
And there's a lot of that tied to the shame too, male and female. But Barbara, we didn't even mention this. She also was recruited by Diddy. That we didn't even get into that. No one picked up on a DIDDY, did they? Marshmallows, but no Diddy. No Diddy is always a good place to be.
She's got a really strong spirit in her household, so that's
I do picture as you're reading her and Andrew, I do see Barbara as like this mythological creature, like in a fairy book that's in the forest with animals following her. Yeah, I definitely see the nature side. Yeah, I didn't see that before, but I also didn't see Barbara. We did a phone call. I didn't even know what she looked like at the time. She was like sending me her old photos as we're podcasting.
That's crazy.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, I'm picturing her just like flauntering around the forest. But she has a story to tell. So I don't know if you want to let Barbara get into that.
Yeah, I do. This is the juicy part.
Yeah. So yeah, Barbara's basically the only person that has been brave and willing enough to talk about this.
She obviously
I was scared. I'm like, are you sure?
Shotgun photo definitely shows her personality, and that is brilliant. I love that about you, and it's a perfect photo to describe your personality. But let's let her just
whatever you want to say, Barbara. Maybe that you felt like you didn't say the other day would be good.
Well, I just want to come here and be the voice for so many men and women that are victims in the entertainment industry. You don't have to be scared. You're actually going to help people like me, people like, my guy friends, my male model friends that are probably to this day, maybe they have a family, maybe they don't, I don't know. They are ashamed to come out. They don't know if they're going to get work again. That was the other thing. I could never really come out before because I was still working and making money. So you can't even really complain that much, because if you do, you're a problem, and they'll just go on to the next model that doesn't complain, and that will accept the job and will accept all the side things that come along with it. I just want to be the voice to say, hey, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. There's jobs for everybody.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, literally, you can't say anything or you'll get blackballed. Well, we are in a new society. Like we're in a place now where people can be their own boss, which is nice. The modeling agents don't have as much control as they used to have. So we're in a time now where, not to say people should start OnlyFans, but there was no Mike Jeffries in the middle of a girl and their OnlyFans.
That's a good point.
Not to say that that's what you have to do, but right. I noticed that a lot of women don't have to do that route anymore.
Well, a lot of times people forget that the entire industry is owned by 3 corporations. So every newspaper outlet, every TV, every movie, every book deal, every billboard, everything is owned by this small group of people. So when you do what you do for a living, Barbara, then there's no way when you're trying to make a living and survive for you to say something, because you'll be blacklisted across the entire globe, literally.
Absolutely.
Well, even like Substack, like if you look into their investors, it's like even the independent platforms have these same people. So it's like, what are you just going to make your own website, but then no one's going to be able to find you? So there is risk.
I'm telling you, I love your visual of her with all of the little animals and the unicorn walking beside of her in the trees going, hey, I see you sitting on national talk shows, and things as simple as Access Hollywood, Entertainment Tonight, and then others as well. The door is kicked down. You did that. And then it's going to be it's been a drip, 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 and it's getting ready to start to flow. And you're going to be pulled all over the place for a while. There is definitely, you're in a 9-year, and that's endings, new beginnings. And your personal focus for 2025, you personally, is the 8. That is the number of wealth.
And my number.
It's also the number of heaven and earth. So you're pulling your non-physical expanded consciousness more solidly into your body, mind, and spirit, and holding the energy and as lined and as grounded as you possibly can. And that's where the magic's going to start coming to you. Thank you. There will be somebody with the JG sound in their name, like a John, George, Jeff, Joey. That's first name, last name, nickname, or middle name, that's going to come to you and offer help with your team to kick down another door or two. This is definitely a domino effect. I know this is going to sound like I'm being self-aggrandizing here, but I literally feel, Barbara, I'm getting goosebumps like crazy.
Yeah.
This show right here going live, somebody's going to come out of the woodwork from this that you will obviously vet, and they're going to have things to back up what you've already backed up. The deal is sealed, and they're going to try to give you shut up and don't say another word money.
Wow.
Oh, hush money?
Yep. If somebody does like marshmallows, girl, I don't know who it is.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't think Barbara needs hush money. That's the thing. I don't think Barbara needs hush money. That's the good thing. Yeah.
Exactly, because you're locked and loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
So how connected to the porn industry was this whole trafficking thing? Is that part of it? Or
you're asking me?
You said you lost a friend. When you said you lost a friend, like when somebody was trafficked, where did they take them away and you just never saw her again? And is there porn? Is this involved with porn? And
it's not porn. She was an artist, and they introduce you to certain people in the industry, like CEOs of like the Fountain Blue or whatever. And she could do her artwork there. In order for her to get in, you have to go and hang out with these type of people. They give her drugs, and the drugs took over her life, and that led to other things. And it's just a cycle, and it's hard to get out of. You're in this cycle because you want to be successful. You have to play the game. Then you're shamed because you did the drugs, and now you really can't face yourself anymore because you slept with so-and-so. You're hooked on drugs. And it's just this spiral that just keeps going and going. And after a while, like after 8 years of this spiraling of my friend, I didn't even recognize her anymore. Like I couldn't even invite her to my wedding because I was like, what am I going to do with her? Do I have to give her drugs?
Is she like a homeless person or?
Yeah.
Or
no,
like
she had money. She was fine, but it's just the drug abuse. It's just the shame.
Right.
The being trafficked. She went abroad. She was dating some CEO of some brand in Paris. I think it was, I don't want to say any names. And she was with him for a while, and she was always calling me, come rescue me, come get me. I'm like, I can't just come to Paris right now and come rescue you. You need to just leave. And she left eventually, but she had a pacemaker put in, and
oh my goodness,
it's just nonstop. And that's just one person,
Right. That's not a healthy lifestyle at all.
Barbara was talking about the trafficking, though, on the podcast before. You were talking about how there was Jeffrey Epstein gave $1 million to, was it Jean Blanc?
Luc.
Was that his name?
Jean-Luc. They started the agency MC2 models. Yeah.
And that he ended up being found dead in prison. He was arrested around the same time as Epstein, I believe. And he was known for, people said a lot of models from like Eastern Europe were disappearing, allegedly. Maybe you can expand on that.
So allegedly, a lot of working models in New York from Europe have visas. And a lot of these models are not accounted for if they're taken from New York to these islands and they're never seen again. There's been a lot of models committing suicide that I know of. I know there was this one gentleman, he had a twin brother. He was signed with Guest Models and he was working with Bruce Weber. He committed suicide. In the industry, when these models commit suicide, we all know why. It's because you did things you're ashamed of and you weren't promised those campaigns or the big money. You were promised with certain photographers or agents, whatever it is. If you're going to do these things, you're going to have to pay the price.
And for the audience, the Abercrombie sort of traffickers used to take men and bring them to parties and pay them to show up. And then they had to have sex with these older gentlemen who were not gentlemen. And that was just part of getting the job and working for in those days. So it was mostly men on that end. But on the women's side, it was more Epstein group, right? You ended up on Epstein Island, and in order to become a better Victoria's Secret model, you had to do crazy things. I can't remember how Emily put it in her Substack, but it was kind of funny, the use of language that you had.
About the models taking turns shitting on a glass table?
Yeah, but you called it something. You had a
defecation kink?
Yeah.
Defecating.
No, you said
Defecating.
deucing in a, I don't know, it was just funny. You have to read it.
I know. Do you know how many times I had to type in feces and a thesaurus to try to find other words?
It was funny. It was funny, but
feces and a thesaurus.
But
I
yeah,
didn't want to use the word POOP, so I had to find like better words.
Hope it's not this too graphic for our audience, but you know,
apparently that's like a huge kink in Hollywood, that men love women shitting on them.
And they would take a video of it.
It's just like, why can't we just eat cupcakes? Like, why are these guys so disgusting and criminal? It's so weird.
It's so weird.
In this photo Kaleb just pulled up, we've got a photo of Barbara on the bottom left. That's her in an Abercrombie ad. So Bruce Weber was notorious, or not notorious, he was famous for these iconic black and white images that were hypersexualized. And looking back, there's even a photo of Barbara as butt naked in the water of the Bikini Bay.
They talked to her
in Miami.
Yeah.
So they would make Barbara take her clothes off, make out with other teenagers. And you said you got fed up with it. You didn't want to make out with these boys anymore.
What year was that? That was in the 90s or
2000s, I think. Early 2000s.
Yeah. Emily, do you think that's a kink for the guys involved, or do you think it's more of blackmail to keep the girls in line? Because like, we have photos of you shitting
Barbara
on a table.
said it's blackmail.
Yeah, I think that feels like blackmail.
I've actually heard. No, that's blackmail. But I do know some celebrities in Hollywood that have a kink for it. But I think they make these kinks into black. It can be a double-edged sword.
Yeah,
both. Barbara, you said it was. You believe that you said there was a famous photographer laying underneath the table, taking photos as the girls would do their thing, and that would be blackmail. They were leveraging their power to collect humiliating blackmail on the women.
They were doing it to show that they will do anything. They're like up and coming, and they're showing they will do anything to be famous. They will do whatever they need to be famous. Yeah. And that's how it works. And they make you feel if you don't do something, then you're going to lose the job.
Yeah. And you would sometimes.
All the time.
You would lose the job. Barbara was called difficult.
Mm-hmm. All the time.
some of this feels like humiliation ritual too.
Yeah.
So meaning some of the young ladies and gentlemen would have the glass top table episode. But I feel like it's like, I'll show you, I'll do whatever it takes to prove to you that I'm willing to get to the next level. But some of them might not have even known at the time that's part of a humiliation ritual tied to worse things to come. So you're trapped it's a no-win situation, no pun intended.
Situation.
Yeah. It's true.
For lack of a better word.
Yeah.
No, it's weird. It also reminds me of porn. I'm sorry. I just have to say this. You're being videotaped doing something that is sexual or disgusting or fetish like. And it is sort of it's like crossing the line between being a model and being in a hot bikini and showing your body to just crossing the line and doing porn.
Right. Agreed.
And then it becomes, you do have a fear. If they were giving these girls drugs as well, were they in their right mind? Were they using alcohol? Were they, being roofied? I mean, Drew did a thing called Celebrity Rehab, and Janice Dickinson was on his show. And after his show was over, she came out and called out Cosby for drugging her and having sex with her when she was a top model. And she ended up helped put him in jail for that because
she's not a good woman. I'm sorry. I've seen her in New York at those parties.
I think everybody's good somewhere, but I know she's intense. She's very intense, but she also was an addict. She's not innocent. She had a drug addiction. No, I understand, but he was not a great guy. And she was one of the people that I'm friends with her. She's doing great now. She's not using, she's a grandmother. Good. She's a normal person. Good. But she also was in that world, which is not something that is good for your soul. And she was America's top model, one of the first. And she always says, I was number one. I was the first top model. And she's been on our show. I had her on my show at the very beginning when I started doing this podcast.
She got addicted to drugs, and the shame, you can't get out of it. It's a circle. So she probably wanted to get out, but she couldn't.
Right.
And it's just like a spiral. And then they make you feel like it's normal. They make you feel like, oh, you're much cooler if you do drugs and you party. That was the thing.
Yes.
Everybody was smoking. Everybody was doing drugs. Everybody was at Cipriani's upstairs at the club above Cipriani's. That's where I saw everybody there too. And they will call you names. You're difficult. You're this because you're not partying. You're not participating.
Right.
They always
you're a hard ass. So you're not going to party.
Yeah. They always said I was prude. They're like, she's so prude. She doesn't do anything. It was always that kind of thing. For me, like if I was upstairs at Cipriani's at the, Cartier event, they're like, oh, she's the stiff one. She doesn't do much. I'm like, yeah, I'm working. I don't know what you're doing the next day. It's those kind of things. And then
that's good.
And then you see the ones that are partying.
It's a vicious circle. And you don't know whether they're doing the drugs to dampen down their shame and the stigma of it or what they did. Or they just had a traumatizing childhood and they just are, they're addicts. Or if you don't even know if they're sex addicts. So, it's all part of that scene. And the men are all sex addicts, by the way.
And it's still happening. Like it's still happening.
I was just going to ask
still
that.
Happening.
Like, how is this still happening?
Yes.
And in in what capacity?
Yes, it is. And you guys touched on OnlyFans and taking the middleman out and stuff like that. We live in a world of OnlyFans and porn and, Instagram and all this stuff where women are over-sexualizing themselves to make a living. And they don't even know what the repercussions are going to be later. Like you have a moral compass. You were able to escape these crazy situations and come forward and fight for your sanity. But there's so much more out there now with the internet, doing it on your own, the stuff that goes on behind closed doors and chats and OnlyFans and all this we don't even know how that's going to change the women's brains. They start young. when you have sexual impressions on your brain when you're in your teens, you carry that with you, and then that does cause drug addiction later. That does cause sex addiction. So, you and also, my friend, God, I couldn't think of anybody's name. I had COVID a couple of weeks and I can't remember people's names. But Janice Dickinson was very brave to come forward and do what she did. And I remember it was extremely stressful for her. But after she did it, it was almost like her life changed for the better. She married a great guy. I went to her wedding. She was, she's changed. She's completely on the other side. But she's got a lot of tales to tell. She was, part of the 60s, 70s rock model industry in New York and was doing a lot of cocaine. I mean, we did a lot of cocaine in the 80s. Okay, you guys weren't alive yet, but cocaine was like the thing to do. So, but
now they're doing pink cocaine.
Yeah, and it's just
Molly, ketamine, and coke.
Oh my God.
That's the cocktail of choice now in Hollywood.
I thought it was cotton candy.
But
Yeah, that's what all the fashion girls are doing now, and music people.
But also, when you see women that make these choices, you have to look at their childhood. Where did they come from? What is your father loved you and you had it looks like you had a great dad. You may have had a great upbringing. You didn't have an addictive gene in your family. But they do prey on the weak. These men, these Epstein type, Jeffries, was that Les Wexner dude? I mean,
Les Wexner introduced. He gave Mike Jeffries the keys to run Abercrombie in 1992. So Les is running free. Like
it's crazy.
And you said, Barbara, he gave Epstein he sold Epstein that townhouse in New York that you saw
$1.
You want to talk about that at all?
Yeah. So he gave Epstein the condo that he was living in that was, full of celebrities and socialites and politicians and all kinds of CEOs. And he had events there. And I'm just wondering, why did he give him the condo for free? Is what I'm wondering.
Blackmail.
This is the same condo where they videotaped everybody and blackmailed, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This condo was talked about in a lot of Epstein's tales of the victims coming forward.
Is that the one where Bill Clinton is in the blue dress with the red heels painting?
I think.
Is it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that apartment.
Also, Barbara's neighbor was Chelsea Clinton. That was kind of interesting.
Oh, wow.
The Clintons. Let's talk about them. Let's do a psychic deep dive on the Clintons and their connection to all this. Eddie, I want to talk.
I have a question. I have one question, please. So in 2016, in front of my building, 225 Fifth Avenue, Hillary Clinton was arrested, and I want to know why. And there's a video showing
why she was. Okay, let me ask psychically, because this is how I make my living. So I'm just going to put this out there first, Barbara. I'm just going to ask the question psychically, and then whatever comes. It's not a Democrat question. It's not a Republican question. It is a curiosity question. Does that make sense?
Do you need her birthday, Eddie?
Yes.
October 26, 1947.
Okay, right there.
She's got her secondary energies 8.
Sorry, what year?
1947. That's Hillary Clinton.
What's her full birth name, Robin?
It looks like, let me just see. All I see is Hillary Clinton.
Robin, you said 1947, and I was like, there is no way Barbara was born in 1947. Give me a break, guys.
No.
You're talking about Hillary Clinton.
Okay, Hillary Diane Rodham Clinton.
There you go.
There.
Okay. Listen, this is going to be crazy.
Uh-oh.
Was she in handcuffs?
Yep.
Did they already have her in handcuffs? All right. There's 3 agencies there. I'm being told they were supposed to have done it before then, but she had crossed the line in some way, or her team crossed the line, and she was ambushed. Literally, she had no clue. Thank you. That's why they're saying it looked like she was going to pass out or faint or something. Was it a black vehicle?
Uh-huh.
it feels like somebody that was on the inside of that van had their middle finger up, like, surprise, surprise, bitch. This is terrifying to me. Okay. And let me just point something out. As a person born on the 8th, as a person born on the 8th, as a person with 8s in their thing.
Yep.
And I think Miss Barbara got an 8 somewhere in there. Oh, yeah. This year, your focus is 8 energy. And let me tell you, she's born on the 8th. And this year for Hillary Clinton is endings and new beginnings. And she is an imbalanced 8. And when an 8 gets imbalanced and they separate their expanded consciousness or their soul from their body, they do not smart things. They do bad things. You have to have a conscience. And sometimes she doesn't. Oh my goodness. I just feel like a domino effect is getting ready to happen. And I feel you kicked the door down in your industry in your way. That is a domino effect. So when you kicked it down, it goes out to this Epstein group, to the politics, to the lingerie world, to the fashion world, to the handbag world, to the magazine world, it's all coming down. And you're seeing it with your own eyes and ears. And you know it's going to happen, but there's a part of you that's like just a little bit tiny, weeny, petite flower prince is pessimistic about it because you've seen it get this close too many times and nothing happened. So within 6 months to 22 months, you're going to see some shit happen, sister.
Okay.
And then people will come out of the woodwork that you have not talked to in years and go, oh my God, you were right the whole time.
And then everyone's going to hop on her coattails.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's what they
And
do.
I'll be
But you'll feel vindicated.
And I'll be in Hawaii chilling. Sorry.
on your farm. On your farm.
Well, it's good that Barbara doesn't trust people because she's about to have a lot of people trying to get in with her now that she's doing this. It's like, oh, where were you before, you know?
Well, and I think your trust thing is going to change because you're more connected to your instinct and intuition. You're more grounded than you've ever been before. Even though, bless your heart, your life is in upheaval because of the fires and other things.
Yeah.
Everything is getting ready. Thank you. They're just saying this will be a miracle in hindsight. You'll look back and the fire won't be the best thing that ever happened, but the shift that happened because of it will be the best thing that ever happened. And you know, you like your privacy and stuff, so you can get real cranky when people are pulling at you in all different directions. You need naps. You need naps frequently. So when this starts taking off for you, did you have a little fantasy of almost wanting, and I don't want to talk about, is it Meghan Markle? Is that her name?
Mm-hmm.
She get on my nerves.
Yeah.
But you know how she has I can't either.
I feel like
I like everybody.
Her. I don't like how everyone hates her, so it makes me want to like her.
No, me too. Yeah, but it's so hard.
She's just fake.
It is.
It's all fake.
That's what I'm talking about.
I always think she seems nice. I have bad intuition.
Fake.
I'm like Hillary.
No,
I'm like
Emily,
Hillary.
I think it's that the moment we see people being put down, we're curious about, well, what do they have to say? They got to have something to say because they're trying to be shut down and censored, and the public seems to hate them. And
they did that with Emily. They did that with Emily.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
And then you do your own deep dive research, and then you figure out what the truth is. But I think you're going to be presented a TV show, but it won't be bullshit. It won't be things that you don't like, that you would never even watch, that you will agree to do. It's got a sort of a spirituality to it, a lifestyle vibe to it. You're very honest to a fault sometimes. You're like, I know I'm bossy pants. Get the fuck out of my way. And that's good. That's refreshing. And so if you want to be in your garden making flower arrangements, you're not going to hire 17 florists from Mark's Garden to do it. And
like Meghan Markle does.
I know, right? So there's something coming where you're going to be part of a show that is sort of bringing people back home to basics, being grounded, literally meals at the table, whatever it's going to be. And then you still get to go do your fabulousness
Wait, I
all
want
over
to
the
know
world.
who nabbed Hillary. I can't stop thinking about that. And then I had like this weird feeling like she knew that Bill was into all this stuff with these models and these sex things and all that. And she
was too.
She used him. It was dirt on him so she could run for president or she could become And then she probably got off because of, I don't know. My brain goes elsewhere. I want to hear about her success. I think she's going to.
I always liked Hillary. I have bad taste, don't I?
But okay, so you said there were 3 agencies that nabbed her.
3 different agencies all
was
working.
Bill in the car with his finger up? Like who was in the car? And why was she was arrested? She went free. This all was secret because we didn't hear about it. And you just witnessed it, right?
Yes,
you just saw it happen.
Secrecy is the key. And it's a secret that she thought nobody on earth would know but 2 or 3 people.
Well, now everybody knows.
No. But listen, this is nuts. I feel like Biden knows. I feel like Biden knew the secret when this incident happened with Hillary.
Okay.
But I don't think he was in the van.
When was it?
2016. After it was the September 11th. The September 11th memorial. Yes, sir.
Whoa. 16, 6, 7, 8, 9. By the way, that was an endings, new beginning year. We're in an endings, new beginning year now.
So this is a year for Hillary.
Yes, that was the beginning of the takedown. And this is the end of the takedown. It's going to come out. Ooh, it's going to come out in 2026.
This is wishful thinking, and this is what people want.
No, that's witchful
People have been waiting for Hillary to get arrested since Trump said he's going to lock up Hillary.
Yeah, and by
it
the way,
never happened. We've been waiting.
Yeah.
Where is Hillary? Why is she not in handcuffs?
Well,
yeah.
If she was so powerful, why didn't she beat Trump?
If she was so powerful,
it was the worst loss ever.
Yeah.
How embarrassing. Like Kamala almost beat Hillary. That's embarrassing.
Well,
that's embarrassing. Oh, there's the video.
There's that black.
That's her getting arrested.
Where's the handcuffs?
That's in front of my building.
Oh, is this when she fell down?
Addie said he saw her falling.
She did not fall.
You watch. She's going to limp or something.
Where's the handcuffs?
They lift her. Look. They lift her.
Oh, see where she kind of falls?
Yeah, it looks like almost like she's partially collapsing. Hold on, they keep.
Well, I know.
Like waving at people like Miss America.
Okay, so Dr. Drew should have been here for that because he has.
Look at her feet.
Yeah. No, I got to explain to you. I wish Drew was here right now.
This is the clip we would need for Instagram.
Drew has actually explained this, and
get
him.
That's
what I was about to say. Yeah,
I don't know.
Can Drew come on?
Okay, so she had. This was when she had some horrible health conditions. Okay, she had a thrombosis and she couldn't see, and she had. He has to explain all this, but there was a reason why she fell and she tripped in that circumstance.
Drew always
it was medically related, but was she handcuffed in that shot?
I feel
Drew was. Drew's similar to me. Like he will defend the elite.
No, but she literally fainted or something. He's downstairs working out
because Drew didn't think Gene Hackman was a conspiracy. He made that medical too.
But
by the way. Oh, well, I'm sorry.
But I don't know why she was
Susan
getting handcuffed and thrown in the car. Why she fell down, I think, is a medically related situation.
Right.
But
if you thought you got rid of somebody and that person you thought you got rid of was sitting in the van when that door slid open, I would pass out too.
Yeah, maybe it affected her.
I would have thrombosis of the butthole.
Well, she had eye problems and she fainted on the campaign.
Does he want to share my mic?
This is when he can go over on the.
Drew, you're here because you know why you're here.
Do you know the video we're talking about? Drew was waiting
to defend the billionaires.
Sit in the producer seat.
You can too. I just defended Hillary. If everyone's making fun of Hillary, I have to be the contrarian. But now that Drew's here, I'll go back to exposing her.
And I'm not making fun of Hillary. I'm giving information.
So you don't have to fill me in because I've been watching.
Oh, Drew's been listening. He was waiting for his entrance, his big entrance.
So I'm so glad Emily's representing a lot of people here. Some of you are very big Hillary fans. So thank you for doing that.
Well, I remember some medical quality.
So that was the day after my shitstorm.
Right, exactly. That's what I remember.
For saying that I was concerned about the choices her doctors were making. So, okay, what happened to me? Should I tell the story? Should I tell? All right. So, am I on TV?
Wait, so she got arrested.
No.
You don't have a camera.
She got handcuffed and thrown into that black vehicle.
Okay, so here's what happened.
She kind of fell down.
She was not handcuffed. So
Drew comes in to ruin the conspiracy.
Well, no, I mean, I like the whole thing seems right to me, but be that as it may, that was not that day. That day was a medical problem. She had pneumonia on that day. Oh. And she was pushing through on a hot day ceremony at the 9/11 to memorialize like the 20th or something anniversary down somewhere in there.
Right,
9/11.
it was not a 9/11.
And she couldn't handle it, and they had to carry her out essentially. And that was and her doctor, if you look, is in the picture. She's there tailing behind, and that's what I was taking. Are you recording me?
Well, yeah, I need it for Substack.
So, all right, so here's what happened. So the night before, I went on Dom Lemon, and we were talking about Donald Trump, and does he have personality disorder, or what presidents do have personality disorder, what that means. And I got on the radio the next day, and my general manager said, hey, that was interesting. Can you do 30 seconds for our website? I went, yeah, I could do it in 30 seconds. And I'm getting up, and he goes, it's an election season, we're a radio station. We have to do both sides. Could you say something about Hillary? And I said, well, funny thing, her medical records were released this morning. And the care and choices her doctor made, I got questions about. She had a transverse sinus thrombosis. They put her on Coumadin. I didn't understand why they didn't do a hypercoagulation workup. She'd had a stroke, which is why she was wearing those weird glasses, because she had something called intranuclear ophthalmoplegia from the stroke, from the transverse sinus thrombosis. All of that was hushed up. It was in the medical record, and the workup was incomplete. And I just kept saying, I could tell that a celebrity was in charge. When a celebrity is in charge of their health care, it never goes well. Mm-hmm. And I could tell she was not getting the proper workup. And guess what? Her doctors responded to me like a week later and did all the things I suggested they should do. The problem was that morning that you see there on that tape, Drudge Report took my tape and put on a headline on their newspaper that said, finally a physician says she's not suitable for office, which I did not say. Right. And then she has that episode at the memorial, and everyone went, see, Drew was right. Then a week later, my HLN show was officially canceled, which is something we had decided to do 3 months earlier. So it looked like I was canceled because of this thing I said, which wasn't what I said.
No.
And so that was my experience.
So that's why we remember that day. But you saw her getting taken and put in the car that day, and you thought she had handcuffs on?
No, I was just explaining. I was wondering to ask the question, what was going on? Because that was in front of my building, 225 Fifth Avenue. And I've always wondered what happened.
That's where she
had pneumonia.
Okay, well,
she had a stroke. She was on the campaign trail. She was being sort of treated specially, which is, never good medical care. And she had pneumonia that day also on top. But she was not well. She was not well, and she was getting suboptimal health care.
No, I agree with you.
But do you think someone was trying to make her sick? You know how they can give people pneumonia now?
No.
I think she was. No, I don't think they were trying to make her sick. But I feel everything. We're saying the exact same thing from two different perspectives. So everything that was going on with her body was going with her body. And then there was a whole other thing, whether she had pneumonia or she would jump in for Jesus, they were going to snag her ass. Mm-hmm. So that just happened to be when they snagged it. Oh,
what was that? What was that headline Kaleb just put up? What did that say, Kaleb?
That's why I remembered this exact video because of all the stuff that went on. It was in Snopes, and everybody had to do it.
Might be deep state.
And I
might be MK Ultra, and I'm not. Susan and Drew are slowly just like they pretend they're my family in LA, but actually I'm getting MK Ultra. Yeah.
Oh, you are.
I wondered that sometimes.
You're not going to get MK Ultra, but I'm going to give you some antipsychotic medication soon.
So this is the thing I can't stand about. The last day he was in office, I will not name his name, the last thing he did before he left office was turn around the Smith-Mundt Act.
Oh, yeah.
Where it became okay and legal to propagandize lies.
And against the domestic people, yep.
Yeah.
And that brought us COVID.
All of the media could say whatever they wanted. They could lie as much as they wanted. And that's the kind of stuff that drives me insane.
I'm with you. I'm so with you.
Tell me about it.
You should be allowed to sue the shit out of them
Yes.
for doing that.
You can't sue.
That's ruin your reputation.
We would be very rich.
The liability shield.
Trust me.
Well, go back to the hot coffee documentary about the poor lady and who spilled coffee in her lap from McDonald's and had 3rd and 4th degree burns or something like that. And they had already passed legislation that when a everyday person sues a company, they can't get more than $250,000. She never wanted to sue them. She said, just please pay my medical records. That's all I'm asking.
That's usually where most patients start. It's the attorneys that go,
they want more money.
You're entitled to more. And that's how things get bad.
Attorneys who write laws for other attorneys and for themselves. It makes me so mad. But anyway.
Well, I'm going to go back to being a listener. Is that okay? Do you need me for anything else?
Thank you. I knew that Drew, it's weird that you brought that up because Drew
that is kind of weird.
Connected to
he's
that
got a news story about it.
And I knew that there was something medical. And I knew
it was a horrible day.
It was
and it was like the first cancellation for me, even though I wasn't actually canceled. It was when cancellation process.
It went viral.
And I felt so helpless. And now I'm so used to it. There have been so many cancellations since then that I have any reaction to that stuff
CNN
anymore.
was not supportive at all.
No.
Of Drew. They wouldn't let him.
Because he criticized the doctor?
Yeah, he wouldn't let him have a rebuttal or explain himself. They just let it run.
No. They came down to me like a ton of bricks. Shut
because
up.
Hillary's campaign manager was married to the guy who was running
the libs
CNN.
now.
And I said, look, I'll straighten it out. I didn't say any of those things. Yeah. Shut up. Just shut up.
Wow.
And he couldn't talk about it for a year. He could talk about it on the radio, local radio, but he couldn't talk about it for a year in news. He stopped working at CNN. They didn't let him do
surprised
any
Hillary
news
didn't reach
for
out.
a year because it was in his
People
contract.
did. Not to
and
me.
he had to just shut the hell up. And now we have this live streaming show where we can say whatever we want because we're not owned by CNN or Fox or anything. We can
still get canceled though.
They can still shut the cameras off when you say Manson.
YouTube
God can shut down the internet. But
YouTube still screws with us. Thank God for Rumble, but YouTube still
it was really a different time, and that was only 20 years ago?
No, not
15
even
15 years ago. Wait, 20. It
was like 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Drew is a life path 9. So you will take that chicken shit and turn it into chicken salad.
Yeah.
And you made it work for you.
I by the way, never heard so many ways of describing shit as this show. Deuce, feces, shiza.
I told you, I looked up the thesaurus.
But they don't, even a good thesaurus doesn't have all of those words in there. Bending a biscuit. Keep going, Emily. Come on.
Hot snake.
But
the word.
But it brought you a lot of
Barbara
business.
had to see it.
Barbara's right.
Sorry, what, Barbara?
I'm saying it probably brought you a lot more viewers later when you came back. You know what I mean? Like people.
Well, I have to be coached up by Kaleb. Kaleb is the one that always goes, it's whatever. It doesn't matter. It's all good.
Sometimes bad
good
PR
and bad. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it was tough.
On the internet,
it was
different.
tough because he was still under contract for a year afterwards to not be able to say anything in his defense publicly. And then, the news, and it's in the internet that, Drew ruined Hillary's campaign, which it's not true.
Well, I'm sure they're not happy Drew was in the White House on White House Row either. Hillary's probably mad at you now.
The worst part was that so many people knew the real story was not that Drew was fired by HLN and CNN because of this. Like, everyone in the whole team knew, and everyone at CNN and HLN also knew that the show was about to be announced to be canceled a few weeks later.
Yes,
but then they kind of tied the two together, and they made it appear that Drew got fired when that was two totally unrelated things. We already knew the show was finished,
CNN
and they
would
just
not
hadn't
let
announced
me.
it.
And I kept telling CNN, let me straighten it out. Nope, shut up. But listen, I feel I need to defend CNN. I had a great experience there.
We did.
My managers, the people who managed me there. The reason we delayed the cancellation of HLN had something to do with the benefits for my team, that they had access to certain benefits they wouldn't get if they canceled the show too soon. These people were lovely, but and they never told me what to say until they did, until at the end there. And there was a lot going on. There was and they apologized, but man, they came down hard.
So do you think it's because it was Hillary?
Yes.
So why does she have so much power?
She's directly. They came in and they went, look, you think of yourself as a normal person. You're not a normal person. What you said is, this is dangerous. It has huge impact. This is a big deal. We have people, there are people concerned. They came down on, the Hillary's people came down on CNN is what happened, I'm sure.
Yep.
And then they came down on me.
Yep.
So there you go.
Well, if
So,
you work for a
Poor
corporation.
Barbara. I gotta let you guys talk to her.
you
I'm gonna go.
play
This is
by
a good
corporate
Substack. One sure
rules.
got canceled by Hillary.
Yeah, do it.
That's a good one. That'll get some clicks.
Somebody, because like
17
all of these articles, Emily, are still up there, and they're still all saying Dr. Drew got
Yeah, this will
fired.
be good.
on CNN.
Barbara's
and I'm like,
question
he
led
was
a
not
lot.
fired. It's like, so someone
I
needs
know.
to put articles up to tell the truth about it, because no one's going back to correct
I
the
will.
record. Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
add it to
I
my
mean-
list of 5 to-dos. I'm trying to redecorate my apartment right now and write 5 exposés, trying to write Barbara's book. No, I'm trying to do like 10 things.
That's right. Work it, girl.
Well, there is a connection between Barbara and my husband, so
Well, she is married to
Yeah.
a Virgo like you.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
And you're a Capricorn.
They're the best. They're the best.
Aw.
But they're very sensitive. They're very sensitive.
Very.
So get that couples
And
therapy.
communication issues, right?
Couples therapy is a good idea if you want to have a long marriage.
I don't think Virgos are the best partners. I'm one, and it was a rough morning.
I'm trying to find
Aw.
your thing on here. Where
I was like, can I just buy you something? And he's like, that's not the way to show me love. I was like, can I just buy you out? Is that bad?
Yeah, you could cook something.
I can't cook. No,
Make
can't
a
do that. I'm
sandwich.
not Barbara.
No, Candace Owen has this thing. She does this thing now to
I
make your
know,
husband
make him a sandwich.
Just make him a sandwich.
I know, I'm not. He's vegan. He doesn't even, he barely eats.
You could,
that's so
you
condescending.
could have
What? To buy him out?
peanut
Make
butter
him
and
a
jelly.
sandwich.
Make him a,
You know,
Yeah,
I would never ask my wife to make me a sandwich. And that's why I didn't get sandwiches for like the first 10 years of our marriage. And she started on her own to make me, so she saw I don't eat lunch. Like I just work straight through lunchtime in my office up here. And she started making, it's the biggest thing in the world to me that all of a sudden she walks in and she has a sandwich for me. I'm like, I didn't even know, I didn't even realize I was hungry. I'm working so much. But I know it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, as a guy, you cannot ask a woman, can you please make, you can't even ask it nicely. There's no nice way. That whole phrase has been ruined by other men.
I know.
But when she
I
just brings it in
know.
on her
Well-
own,
Yeah.
I'm just, oh, my life is saved. A sandwich. Thank you.
Caleb, shut
Let's
up.
make this.
No,
I don't
no.
want to make I don't want to start
Let's
making
make a lot of
sandwiches. I'm supposed to be
sandwiches.
writing all these exposés.
I want to know.
I need to get rich enough where I can just hire a chef.
Yeah,
I hate cooking.
yeah, well, I do too. But
That's why
what's
you
your
make a
favorite
sandwich.
sandwich?
Me?
Yeah,
Peanut
your
butter and
favorite?
jelly
It's-
I can make.
For me, it's literally just the plain. She'll make a turkey and ham, and she'll toast the bread and put mustard and mayo and cheese. Yeah, just a plain old,
Wow.
toast it in up here. Delicious.
Yum.
It's all I need.
How do you make a vegan a sandwich, Caleb?
You
Peanut
throw
butter
a loaf
jelly.
of bread
I don't
and
even
say,
They
want
don't-
to begin with that.
Peanut butter and jelly is the solution. Barbara's got it.
Yeah,
I can do that. And then do you cross it crisscross or straight? That's the real question. How you guys
Crisscross,
prefer your
Five people
sandwich
will
cut?
cut the crust off.
Yeah, triangles.
Okay, I want to read one little snippet from Emily's Substack. If anybody wants to see, where do we find your Substack?
Oh,
'Cause
it's Substack. Emily Knows Everything. I just launched 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Barbara
it's
was
really
my
good.
best story so far.
Aw.
So the paragraph that made me laugh was that she said she's talking about the models defecating on the table.
I wrote this at 4 a.m.
Said these stories suddenly made Tyra Banks' notorious critics on America's Next Top Model seem sweet as pumpkin pie. Tyra might have once shamed a girl into closing her teeth gap, but at least she wasn't filming falling feces at 3 a.m. and calling it art.
She wasn't.
I love that, falling feces. This is so funny.
I had something in there that was so bad that I was told
I want
I
to
could
just
be
help my
legally.
husband with his poop stuff. He just loves talking about poop, so that was to add to that.
Drew's probably hitting himself in the head right now that we referenced him again.
Falling
Write that after your
feces.
colonic.
I actually am interested in getting a colonic. It came up on my newsfeed after I published this article. I'm getting
yeah.
colonic ads now.
No, yeah.
Do you want to feel lighter and less bloated and
Yeah,
help with your
because-
chronic disease? Get a colonic. And then there's like pictures of the.
So you know that the internet is listening to you when you're
Yeah.
working. You have to turn all your.
I also
apps off
don't
and
trust the colonic. I've been told like maybe it's dangerous.
stuff. Just, yeah.
It depends on how they
Eat a lot of
insert it.
vegetables. And,
Huh?
It really does. I had to get my, what do you call it when you turn 50 and they put that thing in your butt?
They're really
a colonoscopy. Yeah. I was like, are you not gentle at all with your tiny little hands, dude? Stop.
You shouldn't have felt anything.
Well, I shouldn't have felt anything.
They
and I
should
also
give you
should not have been
propofol so you're
singing
out.
Whitney Houston's Greatest Love of All when the video came up on the screen and the nurse was like, Dwayne, stop. Yeah, I didn't know.
And you have to drink all that water before. It's bad.
God, fire in the hole.
No, it's a fluid you have to drink, and it just everything comes out the other side.
There's
so you could do that.
There's
and then you
Instagram
don't-
accounts dedicated. They'll be like, so this is what a patient looks like that only eats gluten and that shows like purple shit. And then it's like, no, this is someone on a dairy free. I'm like, and people love these accounts. They're so popular.
Oh my
they
God,
just
Robin's
watch the
dying.
tapeworms running out of
They
her.
show parasites. They show tapeworms.
Ooh.
It's funny. Some people just came on Rumble. I wonder what they're thinking. They go, was she a model? And then all they're hearing is about poop.
Well, it's crazy. It's like I was just a kid trying to buy a t-shirt. And I didn't know what the models were going through behind the scenes. Like, we all wanted to be those girls.
Yeah, when you come across this, it is pretty shocking. And it's the, I don't know, men. That's all I can say. I don't get it.
All we want is a sandwich.
I did want to ask anyone.
Drew doesn't want one though. He'll still show me.
A sandwich between two models, right?
Right. It's like two guys, girls, one cup.
That's a sandwich.
I did
Well,
want
anyways.
to ask Annie one last question. Do you think there's going to be like a fall of these modeling agencies because they were in cahoots with these powerful players? Like
Yes.
IMG keeps coming up a lot.
Yes, there's going to be a fall. And it's going to be, it's part of the domino effect. Barbara's part of that.
Yeah.
But there's going to be things like when they find out what Victoria's Secret really is,
Mm-hmm.
ain't nobody going to want
Well,
to
that's
buy.
why they have
Also owned by Les
normal
Wexner
looking women
at the
in
time.
Victoria's Secret now. Like it's just normal women. It's not these.
I don't think Les owns it anymore. Does he, Caleb?
I don't think he does.
I think he gave it up. That was under his brand. It was L Brands. It was limited. Lane Bryant, Abercrombie and Fitch, and Victoria's Secret. I believe he does not own those.
Well, I also don't think Mike Jeffries is going to get away with what he thinks he's going to get away with by having Alzheimer's because
His doctor wrote him a note.
The year he's born is a 9-year endings, new beginnings, but it ends in 44. He's a life path 4, law and order. And then this year, his personal focus is 22, 2 and 2 is 4. So he's going to get nailed.
Mm.
Yeah.
He's 80 now, so it's like he already had it. He already, you
In
know what I
44.
mean?
Yeah, well, yeah, no.
He's 80.
No.
But his partner's still arrested, and there was another guy involved too.
I just saw everybody singing like birds.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh.
It's all the birds around Barbara in the
that's
forest.
what it is. And the deer and the little possums and raccoons.
I'm like, come out, please.
Butterflies
Come out,
is
bring-
actually a symbol for you.
Come out.
Well, Barbara, we love your strength and experience, and we love that you're sharing this story. And we hope this brings you power in your work and what you're up against for the future. I'm glad you came out on the right side of history, and that you're able to, champion whatever comes next for other women that. We need to be honest about these things that are going on in the world. And, this secret world of sex and trafficking and, I don't know, modeling and something that looks so good. And on the other side, there's all this stuff behind the scenes that is just, it's not correct.
If you think about it too, like they were having 13-year-olds pretend that they looked like adults. Like it's just weird.
Yeah,
but then
yeah.
they have adults play teenagers
My
in
kids
movies.
were that age. They were like 13 years old, and we walked into an Abercrombie one time, and I was like, oh, this stuff is so cute in here. My boys were like, get me the hell out of here. Like they could sense it because they're normal people. And
Guys
they were just
didn't like this
isn't
store.
right. I don't like those pictures on the wall. And sorry, Barbara, you might have been up there on the wall, but it was like they were just so turned off to it. We walked over to the Gap and we got them some stuff. So because they had one in Pasadena here, and it wasn't their place to shop, but I was in the modeling world as well. I don't know if anyone knows that. Not like you.
You're so pretty.
So
You're so pretty.
But I worked in a rock I worked in a rock station. I was a bikini model. I had a group of models called the K-Rock Bikini Girls. And I was the model producer, and I produced fashion shows for radio, and we did Raisin swimwear, and I would get them every bikini, and they'd run around. This was way before fake boobs and strippers and all that stuff. And I loved the fashion world and everything. But working in rock, I saw a little weird stuff too. But I always told all my models, do not hook up with anybody in the radio station. Don't bend over on stage. You're not here to do a striptease. You're just here to represent the fashion world. And they respected me for not asking them to sleep with somebody to make me more famous, But it's, and I know that could happen. And there was drugs, but that is a vicious cycle. But now I don't know what goes on behind the scenes in the world of Instagram and TikTok. And, you see a lot of women out there, doing things. And I don't know, maybe you can shed light on it so that it doesn't continue, or we can shut down some of the stuff that shouldn't be happening. A lot of these girls become porn actresses. A lot of these girls become, they're already sucked into it. Or they start making money, and then they become famous for doing crazy stuff.
So then you have to keep doing crazy stuff.
Yeah, and also just being addicted to porn. Like, it's for men and women, both sides. I'm not just saying for women, but I don't know. We need to shed light on your story, and definitely this will be a start. Thank you, Emily, for really looking at this.
Thank you, Alexandra, from introducing me to Barbara.
Yeah, and also for doing this. And I hope that, whatever happens on this show, I mean, we don't have a huge reach, but, it is Dr. Drew's platform. But I'll stand behind you and anything you want to do in the future. If you want to, we're supporting you. And Eddie is here. Eddie's always here if you have any psychic questions. Yeah, and also, Robin, thank you for helping me produce this show, and Kaleb Nation in Alabama. And where can everybody find you again, Barbara?
I'm on
if they want to reach out.
Miss Barbara Adler 1 on Instagram. I'm on my 4th account because I've been so vocal about everything from vaccines to politics to whatever it is. Mark Zuckerberg likes to shut me down. So I'm Miss Barbara.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm Miss Barbara Adler 1 on my Instagram. And I'm also Malibu Cozy, ends with a COZEE Instagram. I design organic custom robes for men and
cute.
Women.
Oh, Andrew was right. Andrew said clothing for her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What did he say?
Yeah, Andrew said he said that he sees you doing some type of clothing design or clothing sales.
Oh wow. Okay.
You can play it back because you probably were too in the zone.
Yeah.
And then if you want to see Emily Hagen's Substack, it's called The Girl in the Shopping Bag. So you can Google that and find her, follow her, subscribe.
Yeah.
Send Emily some money, and find her at Emily Knows Everything.
Walmart.
That's with an IE. And then, of course, Eddie Connor Soul. You can find him on Instagram. And what is your website again, Eddie?
EddieConnor.com, CONNER.
Yeah, Connor with an E. And X, he's Soul Intuitive. And Eddie Connor Soul is his Instagram. And thank you. Another great episode. And if you guys would stay around for the 2:00 hour Pacific and 5 p.m. Eastern, we're going to have another episode of Ask Dr. Drew. And we have Sasha Latipova, another guest, and a Hillsides contributor coming in today. So it's going to be a great show. And I'll be here and watching you on the Restream and the Rumble. And thanks, everybody, for watching. We really appreciate it. And have a loving and spiritual day.
Thank you.